I don't accept friend requests unless we've had a one-on-one conversation or you send me a DM and you qualify yourself as not that much of a weirdo. Right. You have to earn this ad. I've got like over 200 friend requests sitting, and I'm like, I haven't met any of these people.
It's empowering. I feel like I'm really making big decisions.
Right. Yeah. If I get in fights with enough of my friends, I'm like, well, let me just add these ones.
Dave, you let them sit.
Yeah.
I delete them.
They fester.
That's what you do.
That's so bold. But
I don't know.
What if you have to friend them again down the line, and they're like, "I already sent you a friend request." And you're like, "I deleted it."
Yeah, I'll straight up tell somebody, "Well, I don't know you, so
yeah, no,
right. Yeah."
Now I know you, and now I will accept your friend request. I'll go back and do it.
I used to accept them, but after years of experiencing these people, I've learned not to, and it's just like that, you know.
Yeah.
Unless they look okay. You know,
yeah,
they're just like, oh, that looks like a nice guy,
okay,
or whatever, or her. You know, usually females like, yeah, because you're probably not a weirdo.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it
like I'm more likely to be the weirdo accepting this friend request than you are by sending it.
Right.
All right, let's get into it. Anybody here got kinks? Hell yeah, one woman. That's what's up. A lot of frat guys here. I bet your kink is hearing your dad say, "I love you." It's like, babe, don't call me daddy. Just say, "I love you, son." Nah, I ain't got kinks. I'm normal. Fuck y'all. Missionary sex. Yeah. No. Getting into lots of stuff.
You can't laugh at that.
That night that I recorded that bit, there were two new comics on the open mic list, and they were both from frats, and they brought their entire frat. So it was at the showcase. So there were like 130 people there for a Wednesday open mic. And I was like, oh, I'm going to be so mean to these frat guys. And they liked it. So it was, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that joke is so good. Like, did you have that in your back pocket or?
I kind of improvised the first part.
Mm-hmm.
Because like because I knew I wanted to talk about kinks, and then like before I went up, I was like, "Oh, there's all these frat guys. I gotta be mean to them." And I was like, "Okay, what's a kink?" And I thought about it for like a few minutes. I was talking with Andrew Yang, another Michigan comic, and I was like, "What do you think their kink should be?" And I was like giving a few ideas, and he helped me work that out. And I haven't done that part since because that's just very like situational.
Yeah.
But like I try to like introduce like really heavily like I'll be like, who here likes kinks or has kinks, and that really like divides people depending on the demographic of the crowd, because if it's old people, they're all like, I don't think so, and then the silence is funny, and I can make fun of them for being basic, like having boring sex. Or if they're all going crazy, I can make fun of them for having creepy sex. So that's the way it works.
Right.
Yeah. I see it happen quite a bit where a comic will ask a question of the audience and they don't respond how the comic expects. And then they're just like, like.
Yeah,
so,
I hate that. So
yeah.
I don't do that very often. But like when I do, I try to make sure like every reaction is accounted for. And sometimes you get those really weird, unique reactions. Like I've done that bit, and I've had like, okay, so in the clip, you hear one audible woman yell first, and that's like the first part. Like it was silence, and then one person, and another. So, you'll get those unique reactions that are pretty funny sometimes.
Right. So you're ready for it no matter what happens.
Try to be. I mean, I get caught off guard. I fucking, I only put the clips where it works online, so like obviously there's plenty of misfires.
Yeah.
Right. You get the comics who post the hecklers and them handling the hecklers, but I want to see the bombs. I want to see the hecklers who win. Yeah,
and those are the audio files on my phone that no one ever has to see.
The treasure trove. We'll put it in the bonus content.
Just us all bombing. That's the Patreon content.
Yeah. It's just the worst parts. Pay $5 a month.
nuts.
Yeah, because asking a question of the audience, I mean, it can very easily derail the set, like giving them the power, because you're the one with the mic, you're the one in control. And so in this case, you know, it just felt like the way you responded to her, that you're ready for whatever, just the way you carried yourself into the bit. So that was great. The frat guy line was amazing. Everybody has, you know, a wealth of experiences to draw from. Now, for me, I'm with you on that. Like, there's nothing in my life that is off limits other than telling people about those murders. Like, that's it. But other than that, I mean, everything is fair game. And that's, you know, that is why I think a lot of people like to go to comedy shows is
hear stories. Like, I think it's really easy to be pretentious as shit with your comedy. Like with anybody, like, it's like, I try not to say more of my opinions on things versus I try to tell more about my experiences with things and like with myself versus like, cause you know, I'm young, maybe because you guys are a bit older. Maybe you probably have some more well-developed opinions on things. So maybe you feel more comfortable saying those things on stage, but since I'm so young, it's like, I don't really have anything that important to say about any real outside topic that isn't about myself. So most of my jokes rely on just my experiences. Yeah. Since I'm disabled, I wouldn't talk about the disability system and and like all this shit, but I can talk about my experiences with it, and that's all that's relevant, you know. Yeah. Anything else is inauthentic.
Yeah.
Eventually, as you get more life experiences, you can tie your experiences with these broader, more deep and
I'm excited for that to eventually happen, because again, I'm still waiting for like, you know, find your voice, man. You're like, I think I found maybe the tone of my voice, but I haven't found maybe what I want to be speaking about down the line.
Right. It's the why behind everything, you know. There's why am I doing this joke? Why? And I made this comment to another comic last night. I just said, you know, I want to get to the point where I can say something to a room full of people that believe the opposite thing and have them rolling. So
fuck yeah. That's the goal. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Once I do that, I'm out.
No, that's a big goal. You know, it's like, if you can do that, then you're like, wow, I'm proud of myself as a writer, a performer, and like a leader of this entertainment for the night. You know, like, you're on stage, you're in control. If you can guide them on a pleasant path that they didn't expect, that's pretty powerful. That's pretty important. Because that's something not a lot of people can do. I can't do that yet. Yeah.
Neither can I. Every once in a while, I'll start to feel like I've got something, and then I'll prove myself wrong pretty quickly. But that's part of it. Like,
I'm trying. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody gets on stage and is Carlin the first time. Although plenty of people.
Fuck them.
Yeah, right. Not even Carlin was Carlin.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so many people get on stage thinking they are, and it's
fun.
It's fun to watch now at this point.
Yeah, I used to be kind of like bitter about stuff like that when I was a bit younger, because I was like, I'm young and I'm trying really hard, or what I think is trying hard or whatever. And you're like, new people, it's hard and stuff like that. But now I'm more like, I mean, I don't know. I try to, you know, give everybody a shot. Like, you know, like, because you're going to meet so many people that like, they're going to do it once and then never again. But like, I think those are the most like unique, because you never know what some of these people are gonna fucking say, and it could either be gold or it could be shit, or vice versa. You know?
Yeah. I used to get because I used to wear, when I was in high school, like the pop collar was a thing, and so I would double up my polos. And I went with like bright colors and stuff. And I was like tan and wearing those sunglasses that aren't actually sunglasses. And people, dude, I hated myself. I hate myself. Maybe it was because I hated myself.
We would have been in the same circle.
Oh, yeah. My girlfriend says, she was like, if I would have known you, then we would have never dated. I was like, yeah, because I knew me, then I wouldn't have hung out with myself. But like people called me the F word all the time, and not fuck or fucker or whatever. And it got to me at first. It got to me, and then now I just look at it and it was like, yeah, okay, whatever, that's fine. That's not a big deal. I wrote an entire Linkin Park Hybrid Theory parody album devoted to this kid named Philip.
Entire album?
Yeah. So I wrote a parody of every single song, even the song that had no lyrics, about this kid named Philip, because he picked on me when I was younger. And then in 7th and 8th grade, like, I mean, he was a weird kid. He was a nice kid. Like I looking back, I was brutal to this poor kid. But and then I would perform it at recess with like a couple other of my friends, and and like people would watch and or like pass around the lyrics and stuff. And I mean, it was like his mother was a playground monitor, and she always demanded that he kissed her, and so we would. The whole album was about him fucking his mom, and then like
PA at school.
Yeah, right.
With your mom.
That's horrible, and that's a horrible thing to do. But that's also, I mean, that's a credit. You wrote an entire
12 songs, man.
That probably took a while, man. I could the whole album.
Like Numb was dumb because clever, right?
Of course, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Real
I mean,
Shakespeare.
It's a writing credit. We'll put that. Your next comedian wrote an entire album devoted to Philip Meitner.
He's here to perform it today with no context. For David.
My buddy Ryan helped too. He did some 41 parodies for him. So it's like
the real foil to the Linkin Park parody is some 41 parody.
Right, but you can't write that many songs about one person, and we were like, watch us. I think I still have the notebook here somewhere, but we're not gonna dive into that. Steve, weird fears as a kid.
Well, this might be a little bit more common, but Chucky.
From Rugrats, right?
Of course, Finster. Or whatever his name. Yeah. But
Finster.
Yeah, I have Jaws.
Just wow, really? Wow, that's pussy shit to me in my head. Like, you're afraid it's Jaws.
Yeah, I'm afraid of Jaws even when I'm like just walking down the street. It's like he's gonna come after me.
Like, oh god, he's got a moped now. He's on a moped.
Yeah,
he's in an electric car.
Right. Or the worst fear is when Chucky is riding Jaws around. That's the name of the shark, by the way. Jaws, the shark.
Not the James Bond villain.
Right. No, yeah, that guy's got an overbite. But like I don't think I have any, I can't remember any actual fears that weren't somewhat common. You know, I had closet monster fears. Man, if I really thought about this longer, I'm sure I could come up with some weirder ones, but I can't really think of anything.
I was scared
if it was traumatic
fireworks.
enough. I'm sure if it was traumatic enough, probably blocked it out, if anything. So I don't know.
Okay.
But what were you saying though, David?
I was just saying I was scared of fireworks. That was traumatic for me.
Yeah.
Oh, so you were a dog.
Yeah. I would hide with the dog on the 4th of July. I ruined a lot of 4th of Julys for my parents.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was afraid of wolf people, like werewolves.
Okay.
Like not really, because there was like there was this Red Riding Hood live action adaptation, and it was really like, it just scared the shit out of me. Just like people kind of being like not full on wolves, but like wolf people, kind of like werewolves.
Dude, that's funny. I think it would have been great. You're like, oh, bro, you scared of werewolves? No, I'm afraid of wolf people. It's different. Wolf people, they're not the same.
Because like werewolf wasn't a concept to me. I just thought they were wolf people. And I think that's why I keep saying that. Because it wasn't like, oh, that's a werewolf, you know, do the monster mash. No, just like wolf people. Like slight wolf characteristics, that weird uncanny thing where you get like people's eyes look off. And you're like, get away from me. Like that kind of thing.
Well, do you know there's like a psychological condition? Like I'm in college, so I take all these basic ass classes, but I learned that there's like a condition in like the psychological health book that like, it's basically like fear of turning into a werewolf. Like there are people who are like in hospitals because they're convinced that they're werewolves.
Oh God, it's another full moon. Like,
no, you're just Armenian. You're not turning into a wolf. You're just hairy.
Very hairy.
Yeah.
We need you
it's
to
happening.
You won't be a werewolf anymore.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's things like that as a kid. After I watched Jurassic Park, I thought for sure there was a dinosaur peeking in my window. Like most kids my age would love dinosaurs, but no.
Have you ever? I used to do a joke about. I really want it to work because I think it's hilarious that there's also a condition of adults who are afraid of dinosaurs, and I think that's hilarious. That there's an adult out there who's right. You say, I really hope this fucking Stegosaurus doesn't find me. Or like, how are you afraid of something that you learned in school is all dead? Like, how are you? You're like, I'm afraid of dinosaurs.
Yeah, dude.
I'm afraid of Jesus.
Yeah. Well, I'm terrified of Jesus.
You know what's weird is I do have a story about being terrified of Jesus. I was at like a Catholic church because my babysitter was Puerto Rican. She like took me to like a Catholic church to do like a first communion type situation.
Yeah.
And I went in there and I was just looking at all the really eerie artwork they had. And I just kept staring at this really biblical, painting. And it was just, everybody scared the shit out of me. And I had to they had to console me. And they took me to the priest. The priest was actually a British woman. This was in
Catholic church.
Yeah, they took me into the basement where they were all making like the lunch or whatever.
Their potion.
The potion where she turned back into a man, or into a wolf man. But she like had to like calm me down and like teach me how like that wasn't scary because I was like being afraid of like holiness.
Indoctrinate. I mean, that's religion. Like, I think it's stupid as shit that you can see all those paintings as a kid because you're totally right. Those paintings are terrifying. Like, I used to share of those too.
I don't know why they didn't understand me more. They were like, "No, this isn't. No,
it's beautiful.
Really scary." I'm like, come on.
It's too intense for a kid. I think it's not that it's wrong to indoctrinate children, but it's also like it's so intense of a concept that you can like really mess with a kid's head.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're seeing that in the news rather frequently.
Yeah. Well, you guys ever see that movie Jesus Camp?
No.
There's this movie called Jesus Camp, which is about this crazy evangelical Christian camp from like, I think it was like 10 years ago. But there's all these scenes of them like praying to cardboard cutouts of George Bush and like screaming about how Harry Potter will like. Yeah, there's literally.
I saw it.
There's like a scene where a kid comes up to this crazy old pastor woman, and she's like, "Do you like Harry Potter?" And he's like, "Yeah, I love her." Like, he would be punching death if he was alive. He's just like screaming at this kid. It's terrifying.
That's entrapment. That's entrapment. Damn it.
Oof.
Kids. I loved that. I loved watching that.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's also terrifying.
Yeah.
I would play out these. Go ahead.
I was going to say that's when I first started getting terrified of all that stuff, like just the whole separation of church and state issue. Like that really.
As an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
I'm like, terrified of
separation.
Making your kids all political. Like, come on.
Yeah. I'm terrified of that now. As a kid, though, we're more scared of concepts now. Like, like some people are scared of communism.
What do you mean we don't drink dog blood in court?
Yeah. That's as a kid, I was worried those statues in church were going to come to life. Like there were some statues that didn't have pupils in their eyes. I'm like, what the fuck? Like they'd pop up in my dreams, man.
Yeah.
And then eventually the girl from The Ring, that was one that woke me up in the middle of the night a few times.
Classic.
I was 16, so she still wakes me up. Yeah. Now it's my kink.
Yeah. Now you're like, I love the demon TV lady.
Baby, come out of the TV. Ugh. Listen, we're not having sex unless you come out of a well. I like your gray skin and your dead black eyes.
You can't laugh at that.
Special thanks to Golden Ox Studio. You can find Golden Ox Studio for all your podcasting needs at goldenoxstudio.com. Hit up Jeremy. He is fantastic to work with, a professional. He makes podcasting easy. And if you've been kicking the tires on starting your own podcast, definitely give Golden Ox Studio a look. If you'd like to weigh in on today's topic, follow us on Twitter at YouCan'tLaughPod, or like us on Facebook at You Can't Laugh at That, and tell us how you did laugh at today's topic or how you didn't. This is all about the conversation, is what I'm saying. All right. Bye.